big filter which people have to prepare. Now coming to the various techniques which are used, so let's go over. Basically, people know about interview technique, group testing and psychological, three types of tests. And uska bhi agar baat kare to maximum of the students who are preparing for SSB, they just go on the internet and they start off with TAT, WAT, SRT. That is all is available on the net, and they'll keep practicing. And I have found that most of the pictures and all which are there on the net are not the correct pictures, and they are giving a very wishy-washy kind of outlook to these tests. So serious preparations are not possible just by looking at the net. So let's talk about it today. What are the method? What are the various tests? So I'll be as much as possible try to guide you in about next 40 to 45 minutes on the aspects related to SSB. Coming to the 5 days of SSB overview basically. So the first day when you reach there is the arrival day. Nowadays, the arrival day generally used to be in the afternoons earlier, but now let's talk about the COVID situation, because all of you who are NCC certificates would be facing the SSB probably by end of this year or beginning of next year. And I think that because of the COVID, the changes are going to stay for some time. So most of the entries now are being called to report early morning at 6 o'clock or 5:30 is the reporting time on the first day. And on the same day, all of the students, cadets or reports, they are put through the stage 1 testing. Now, it's very important to know about the backdrop of the SSB. So then I will come to the stage 1, right? The backdrop is that this system of SSB started after the First World War, when the German army first adopted this system. And German army adopted the system after they had lost the First World War. They added the psychology-based testing as part of their SSB for officers. So because they thought that yes, if you have to pick up a leader, we have to check his mental makeup. So after the Germans added psychological testing, it was seen by other armed forces, very viable method. So slowly, all armed forces picked up this method of selection in their procedure for armed forces officers, especially the leadership level. Because in the leadership level, it's very important to know the personality of a person. Can he become a leader? Can he lead people? So there are so many qualities which we talk of, leadership qualities. This system identifies the qualities which are required in a military leader. You can be a leader in the business world, you can be a leader in the different world, you can be a leader in the education world. But here in SSB, we have identified the qualities of a military leader, and the whole system is geared up to assess you on those military leadership qualities called OLQs, officer-like qualities. Right. Now, if we study the concept, the whole SSB, we'll find that there are 3 types of tests: the Gto test, the interviewing officer test, and the psychological test. Now, all these 3 things are basically assessing the personality of an individual who has come for selection. Now, if we see them in the context of Indian systems, we realize, this is another way. In our old scriptures also, our old scriptures also talked of this concept of personality, that is mansa, vacha, karmana. Mansa is what we think, vacha is what we speak, and karmana is what we do. So these are the 3 aspects of a personality, of any personality of a person. What he thinks, what he speaks, and what he does could be different. So the 3 types of tests which the SSB conducts, we see a person from 3 lenses: the lens of what he's speaking, the lens of what he's thinking, and the lens of what he's doing. The person is the same, the qualities being judged are the same, but there are 3 specialist assessors, that is the GTO, the psychologist, and the interviewing officer. The system is such that all throughout the 5 days of assessment, when these assessments are going on, all these 3 assessors who are assessing candidates do not discuss the candidate with each other. It is only on the last day, the day of the conference, these assessors, they sit and they discuss about a candidate and think about recommending him, about whether he is fit to be a cadet in the academies, can he be trained to become a leader, to lead men, to be officer in the armed forces. So this is a broad system. Those of you friends who are keen to know more about this Mansa Vacha Karmana, you can visit our AMAS training YouTube channel. There are about 70-80 videos. You will find this concept explained in a lot of details and how this assessment takes place. AMAS space training is the YouTube channel. Now coming to the 5 days, the day one is called the stage one testing, which is called PPDT and intelligence test. Day two conducted psychological tests, which are TAT, WAT, SRT and SD. And day three and day four are GTO and interviews, and final day is the final conference, fifth day. Now let's talk about the SSB. Incidentally, you find this photograph of mine in 19 SSB. Sorry, this is 14 SSB, Allahabad, with the team of assessors there. So let's see what the SSB is looking for. So all of you are good NCC cadets. You're doing very well in your NCC battalions. And yet, all of you do not clear the SSB. Rather, I would say very few clear the SSB. Rather, I would say that there are 50 seats in OTA and they don't get filled, because though thousands of cadets are applying and going for appearing in SSB, very few make it. They're not even ready getting the seats filled. 3 of my students, 2 have got commissioned in March this time, are NCC vacancies, and one has now presently in OTA. He's a GC of NCC vacancy. They tell me that the NCC cadets are not filling the vacancies also. So what is the reason? The reason is, I feel, most of the NCC cadets, though they are damn good, they are too good in their NCC activities, yet they just fall short of knowing what is SSB looking for. What should be my line of preparation? Most of the times I find the attitude different. Most of the time people think, "Arey main jaisa hu, waisa hi accept ho jayega." Some people go to some friends and all, they'll say, "Yaar, tum jaise ho, bas confidence se jao." So they will give them just broad guidelines. Confidence se jao, aise jao. That is not just enough. Yes, you should go with a lot of confidence, but to get confidence, you have to prepare. And unless your preparation is streamlined and on the right path, on the right road, you will not reach your destination. You may be very confident that yes, the distance between my location and a particular location is 50 miles, and I'm so fit I can walk or run 50 miles and go. But if you are on the wrong road, my friend, then you may tread 50 miles, but you will not reach your destination. And that is the mistake a lot of students are doing. They are on the wrong road, or they don't know the road. A lot of students who tell me or ask me, even on my Instagram handle, every day I got 15-20 queries. "Sir, I'm preparing from internet. Sir, I'm preparing from YouTube. Sir, I'm preparing from that." Would you do this for another competitive exam like IAS? Would you do such a kind of preparation? Or would you do such a kind of preparation for a good MBA college? No. You will work day and night. You will see what is to be done, how to be prepared. Then why are we taking this SSB so lightly? Let's go over what is SSB looking for. The answer is very deep. The answer is, first and foremost, we are looking for intelligent young boy or a girl. Intelligence in the parlance of SSB means good general awareness, good knowledge of the current events, right? Ability to solve practical issues, good communication skills, good academic background. This is what the factor intelligence ropes in as far as the SSB parlance is concerned. And all these things are doable. Next, we are looking like a friendly guy, a person who can work in teams, who can take responsibility, who doesn't run away from responsibility, right? Then we're looking for a confident person who can take decisions and stand by them, who doesn't deter, who's not confused, who's clear-headed. And lastly, we're looking for a determined and a courageous person who has both physical courage as well as mental courage. These are the broad 4 factors in which SSB looks at each candidate. And these are not difficult to develop unless you have a stuck problem that I will not develop these. Let's go to what and how to prepare. So that is a big question today that we are all here today. What and how to prepare. So if SSB is a personality test and personality cannot change by mugging or copying what others are doing, so never mug up answers for SSB. And this is the problem which I'm finding in most of the candidates. They go to some internet website, they go to some blogs, some past candidates have just put some blog and they are not able to, they either mug up certain things or they're not able to get the right answers. Right. Now, when you give these stereotyped or trite answers, that's the time the people who are judging you, they immediately come to know that these are not original answers. Right? Simple answers, you come to know major do's and don'ts if you go for some authentic mentors, those who have been in SSB. They can tell you at least these are the do's and don'ts. Don't do this or do things like that. Or is your preparation on the right road, on the right track or not? He may put you under some kind of a similar situation tests, may not be exact tests, but at least he can simulate some tests for you or give you, because all these tests in SSB are timed. So put you the timed practices and you will get a feel of it. One of my students, you will not believe this, and this is true story I'm telling you. He had failed 4 times, and let me tell you, his father was a colonel in the army, and he had failed 4 times in SSB, and his brother was a captain. Both father, colonel, retired, brother already commissioned, and this boy is failing again and again. So apart from the various time tests which we put him through, he realized that he used to sit at home and do the practice in his own time, and used to think is very good. But when he used to go to the SSB, he could not do it in that time. Secondly, what I told him, I said, you change your lifestyle to what SSB is looking at. In SSB, at time you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and have the breakfast at 5 o'clock, and by 5:30 you're in the Gto ground. So a lot of people are not in a habit. The body clock does not work that way. So he started practicing that before going for SSB, that his body clock gets accustomed to sleeping early, getting up early, and so that he's at his best at 6:30 in the morning or 7 o'clock when the tests start in SSB. So some changes a mentor can always bring in and help you prepare better. So let's understand, have a proper plan. So what I want to tell the students who are now planning for SSB, planning to crack SSB, they should do what they should do. They should make a proper plan. If you have 6 to 9 months in advance, let's say some of you are second year students who think that you will be appearing next year, you have to put a plan into practice now. How much time I'm going to devote to SSB. Then move along with the plan when you are in a time frame of 3 to 6 months. So what should you do 6 to 9 months? You start off with your preparation of general studies, your current affair knowledge, your physical fitness regime, develop a hobby. These are the things you can do 6 to 9 months in advance. Also, go through your subject knowledge, whatever subject you're doing a graduation. Those questions are also asked. Then when you come slightly closer to SSB, start working on, let's say 1 to 3 months in advance, start working on the specific tests. If you can go to a mentor, it's very good. He will put you through, he will tell you some do's and don'ts. Otherwise, if you want to do it on your own, see how you can do it on your own. But what I'm trying to say is the specific tests of SSB, that is, on the psychological side or on the GTO side, on the lecturate, right? 1 month or 1.5 to 2 months is more than enough to master them. You don't need to start off 9 months in advance to do your TAT VAT. improve your communication skills, improve your written skills, so that you're able to make a good impact when you attempt these. Again, when you are just about 1 week left, 1 to 3 months is your main period of focus for SSB. Last 1 week, I tell my students, stop preparing. Only go with your current affairs knowledge, because your responses should be original. And I tell them, when you are reaching the SSB, do not carry any material, any books with you, we want to mug it up. Don't do that. Whatever you have done, it's in the back of your mind. SSB is a personality assessment, not assessment of your mugging skills. Some people do it. I'm telling you. They'll mug up the stories and the pictures, and this picture aayega to ye story likhenge, this picture will come and write it. They mug up WATs. This is no way. And they never pass. Right, let's come to the stage 1. What's the purpose of stage 1? It's a big dreaded thing today, because almost 50 to 60%, at times even 70% students will be sent back on stage 1 day, first day itself. The purpose is basically to separate the students who have some chances of selection with the students who have no chance of selection. Basically, they want to separate out people who are prepared and who are not prepared. It's a very coarse filter. There are only 2 types of tests. One is intelligence test series. They put you through half an hour of 2 verbal and non-verbal, right? Which you can prepare from the books. Any number of books are available of verbal and non-verbal tests in SSB. Then comes the PP and DT, which means they show you a picture and tell you to write a story and discuss a story in a group. So what are we looking at? Actually, if you see, assessors are given 13 parameters to judge each candidate. They range from his interpersonal skills, to his communication skills, to his level of confidence, to his imagination, to his flow of story, how has he composed a story, could he identify the number of characters in the picture, etc., etc. But overall, a person who is able to pick up the picture correctly, a person who is able to weave a good story, a positive story, is able to narrate it and discuss it, generally qualifies in stage 1. So the 2 tests are the OIR tests, which bring out your officer intelligence rating, OIR rating from 1 to 5, where 5 is the lowest and 1 is the highest. So the papers are checked then and there. When the moment you finish your OIR test of 1 hour, we are sitting just in the rear of, you see, this is a testing hall of Allahabad. So like this officer is conducting the test. We as other assessors are sitting in the back. The moment they finish off, we start checking, manually checking. Right? Now, a word about advice I'll give you. A lot of candidates, wherever you are in the various parts of the country, you go to various academies and all, coaching academies. You know, one thing, just read this. Stage 1 testing started in 1998. It was not there before. When I gave the SSB, no stage 1 testing. I gave in 1988. It started in 1998. So a lot of you are erroneously going to people who have not been an assessor in the stage 1, and they claim that they are guiding you. So you end up being misguided. See, if I have not assessed stage 1, if I have not been an assessor who has conducted stage 1, how will I know about it? If I learn from a third person, then that knowledge will not be authentic. A lot of people, students, after wasting their money, then they come to me and say, sir, we took guidance there and so we got screened out. All the way, they will take some guidance, they pay some money also, and then they go to take a train, go to SSB, next day they find they got screened out because they did not know the procedure. Misguided or inadequately guided, because those people themselves are not there, who have not conducted, they don't know how the thing happens. It is something like preparing for IIT JEE and taking guidance from a professor who is a professor of political science or history. Here you are going to appear in physics and maths. So it is, don't fall prey to all that. Now let's, so OIR test, as OIR test is concerned, I'm just telling you very simply, pick up OIR books, verbal and non-verbal, from Amazon, from anywhere. There are books available, thick books. Just start preparing now. It will not only help you in SSB, it will help you in all kind of competitive examinations. You don't have to bother thereafter at all. Now coming to the PPDT. Now PPDT doesn't have a book. This doesn't have a syllabus. This is broadly in these 4 parts. First is they show you a picture for 30 seconds. On a big hall, this hall you're sitting in, there's a big screen, 10 feet by 12 feet screen. For 30 seconds, the picture will be flashed, then the picture goes. Then you get time, about 4 minutes to write a story on the picture. You choose a hero, compose a story, and a blank sheet of paper they give you. After that, they take the story sheets away. Now you're told, okay, take a break. 15 minutes, 20 minutes break. Right? Now, when you are taking a break, the assessors are reading your stories. You are divided into smaller groups of 15 each now. And then you are called into the discussion rooms where we first want you to narrate your story, whatever you've written in the story sheets individually, and then to discuss and come at a common story of the group. So what we see in you at this stage is we see how do you project yourself, how much confident you are when you're giving a narrating individual story. What was the composition of the story? Could you identify the characters? Could you identify a good theme? So a lot of practice needs to be done in this, right? How to identify the characters, their age, gender, mood. Could you select the correct hero? Could you pick up a good theme, right? So these are the pictures are blurred. Like I've shown you a picture here. They are blurred pictures. They're not clear pictures. Seldom will you find a very clear picture. That is with a purpose, right? The blurred pictures are shown, and we basically want to see how well you can imagine a story on that, right? So after this, individual narration takes place. After individual narration comes a discussion, and after discussion, they tell you, okay, thank you very much. Now go. This is the answer sheet. This much, just A4 size paper is there on which you have to write a story. And just to show 2 samples of my students while they were practicing with me, just made them write. So in this box, you have to show the characters, where the location of the characters, their age, gender, and mood, and here you write the story. Another. Now, after that, this I've just shown you the discussion phase. You're sitting in a semicircle with 3 assessors sitting in front of you. This is where I had gone to conduct a training for the Army Jawans. I'd gone to Tezpur. We had conducted a practice session for them on the stage 1 and how they should prepare their stories and how they should speak. So a few tips here is that you get 1 minute each to narrate a good story, narrate a story. So speak with confidence, speak with good flow of language. What you can do is when you have the 3 minutes gap, right? When you have the 3 minutes, about 10 minutes gap after you write the story and before you're called in, that's the time you should revise in your mind how you're going to speak out the story. Now, in the group discussion, generally repeaters and freshers are separate groups. It's about 10 to 15 minutes they give you to discuss the various stories and make one common story. And aim is to come to a consensus. So a lot of times, some student will say, "Sir, like fish market ban gaya tha, everybody was speaking, nobody let anybody else speak." Yes, it does happen at times that they would everybody will speak, especially in the repeater batches. But that's all right. If you speak logic and you speak sense, people do listen to you. It is not that it'll be total fish market. Right. So at the end, they will tell you to summarize, one of you in the group to summarize what common story have you made. Now, so let's come to the next part. Okay, I'll come to the GTO task. Now let's come to the GTO technique. This is our GTO ground. So now I'll be just talking about the other 2 techniques of the GTO and the psych. So any questions up to here, up to this stage? Any one of you has any questions, let me know. Sir, I think we should take on a little bit of questions here.
Okay. Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
No, because otherwise
anyone can, those who wants to ask the question can raise your hand and I can. Or yeah, sir, we'll take the question in chat box. Or it's
Yes, yeah, and the person, somebody can read out to me. I will try to
yes,
answer
yes.
them as much as possible.
Okay, Cadet, can you ask your question in chat box?
After joining the force, can we get any facility for further research and development
Yes.
section? Yeah, I can read some questions. Some Preeti Anurag is asking for research and development. Yes, you do get a chance, probably what your field is available or not. Then you will get posted to DRDO. There are some vacancies in DRDO. Locating the characters, not in the story. This boy is asking, Parth is asking. It is, I'm talking of locating the characters in the picture and filling the location in the box. That box is there on the story sheet. You have to put their position there. This is part of the stage one. And write their age, gender, and mood.
There are many
Where is our
questions.
academy? Where is our academy? I will give you my contact number at the end. I will share with you my contact number. So those of you who want to contact me subsequently, you can do that. Identify the mood. How do you identify the mood? Another very good question. Who's asked this? Sauman Banerjee. Sauman, you are from which battalion? Slow, slow. Questions are moving too fast. How do you
Yeah,
identify the mood?
many questions.
That shows, sir, that shows how enthusiastic these children are. You have
Yeah.
really,
If I'll unmute, it is very out of control. That's
you have actually touched the very, very sensitive chord of the students. All of them, sir, they want to become and serve the country. Only thing is
yes.
they are just little short of their level of correct preparation.
Yeah.
I always say, it is the road. It's not that running 50 kilometers, it is running in the right direction. Now,
Yes.
how do we check out the mood? Beta, the mood is clearly visible on their face. If they're into an activity, they're doing something, that's a positive mood. Positive mood doesn't mean a big smile on your face. No. If they're engaged in activity, they are in positive mood. Do you know which are the most motivated soldiers? The soldier is most motivated when he's doing training. He's most motivated when he's actually doing operations. So when you are into some activity, some work, you are in a positive mood. When a person is at a distance in a picture and you're not able to see his face, then it's a neutral mood because you can't know whether he's positive or negative. Negative mood, I don't need to explain. Negative mood is absolutely visible when there's a negative mood. Generally, in stage one, you will not find a picture where there will be any negativity. How to convert a negative story word into a positive one. This is part of a psychological test. I will talk about it later, but may not be possible today. Psychological test takes 3 days to teach. So how can we make a good story? A good story is a one in which your hero does some activity and reaches a good outcome, a positive outcome. That's a good story. And the actions are taken by your hero, whom you choose as a hero. All those who are asking for eligibility criteria, my request is please go to the joinindianarmy.nic.in site. Click on the eligibility, you will find. If I say something, a slip of tongue may not be, this thing may prove to be detrimental. And eligibility criteria may change at times. So it is better to take it from the most authentic source, from their only authorized website. Do not visit any this preparatory websites to see the eligibility criteria. Only visit Government of India websites to see the eligibility criteria, right? And don't verbally ask. Yesterday, one guy was chatting with me in Instagram, sir, am I eligible? This I said, look, if I say you are eligible for this reason, sir, mera ungli teda hai, am I eligible? How can I say? And if I say, should you believe it? You should not. Go to the most authentic source and then find out. Is it mandatory to communicate in English during MO? See, now they will tell you English is a very common question which students keep asking. Very, very common question. Right. Firstly, let me tell you, today I'm speaking in English. Are you finding it difficult to understand? No, all of you understand English. SSB per se is held in English. But when you go there, they will tell you you can speak in English or Hindi, no other language. But you'll find everyone who comes there is speaking in English. So what I found, a person who is not good in communication skill, he starts feeling so shy, he keeps quiet only. He doesn't speak only then. And when you don't speak, obviously you don't get points. Tell me a group discussion, 6 लोग बात कर रहे हैं, एक बात ही नहीं कर रहा है, तो उसका क्या जजमेंट करेंगे जो assessor है? Obviously they'll say he's not participated. Right? So this is the answer to it. Okay. So books you can refer to us for SSB. No book. SSB, I am not referring any book. I'm only telling you book for OIR. For SSB, do not read books. Now, as far as general knowledge current affairs is concerned, that is the time you can read magazines, you can read Competition Master, Success Review, or follow some channels, improve your GK and current affairs. For SSB, no need of a book. It is better to go to a good mentor who tells you how to do it. What the harm the book do is they'll show a TAT picture, then they write a story below it. Once you read that story about that picture, you will never be able to make your own story differently from that picture. That story will keep churning in your mind. And the moment you go and write that story which is written in the book, assessor will go, ये नकल मार क्या है? जो वहाँ पे अंदर बैठे वो सब उनको पता है कि कहाँ से ये बुक्स मिल रही हैं, कहाँ से लिख रहे हैं. Okay. Somebody saying my uncle is ex-GTO. Damn good. Just go to him. Shaurya Yadav is saying my uncle is ex-GTO. Fantastic. He'll be the best person to guide you. You don't need to go anywhere else. A book for OIR. Okay. There are 2 good books I have found. No, I'm not promoting anyone. R.S. Agarwal is a book, this thicker book. And it's got a lot of examples of verbal and non-verbal. Or everybody who's preparing for competitive exams, I think, goes through that book. The title is Verbal and Non-Verbal Tests by R.S. Agarwal. How to develop OLQs in a personality. This we'll talk somebody else. Maybe sir will have to organize another talk for me. So I think let me go to the psychological GTO and interview quickly. Sir, it is about to be 5 o'clock. And let me touch upon the other we'll get stuck at stage 1 only, because aim is not just to clear stage 1, aim is to clear SSB. So we got to go into some more detail. So coming to the GTO tasks, friends, GTO tasks are 9 and they are over 2 days. Starting with group discussion. Now group discussion is based on general knowledge and current affair issues. That is where the importance of GK and current affair comes in. Otherwise, right at the first test, you will be shocked and you will not know what to contribute, and you will keep quiet, and there goes all your impression in the mind of the GTO. Group planning exercise is a kind of a verbal exercise in which a problem is given to you. You are required to verbally talk about the solution. Progressive group tasks, group obstacle race, half group tasks are the outdoor tasks, in which they will teach you there how to handle a plank, bully, rope with some metal structures, and you have to find a solution collectively as a group, but your individual efforts are seen. What is your contribution to the group task? Remember, in the GTO tasks, some of the, my friends, I heard their videos, they are coaching people and they are saying in GTO task, just do something, some activity. No, GTO is observing you individually. What is your contribution to the group task? That's what we're looking at. If you're doing PGT, we are looking at who are the one who was giving the workable ideas for helping the group move ahead to cross the obstacle, and who is standing behind with hands like this or hands in his pocket. We are looking at each one of you. The GTOs are looking at each one of you. Though the job is given collectively to the group, but each one of you is assessed separately. Not कि ये group ने बहुत अच्छा किया, चलो एक group में सबको pass कर दो. It is not like that. What has been your contribution to the group? You are evaluated like that. Then we have lecturate. Lecturate again is total preparation of your general knowledge, current affairs topics like Indian Missile Program, topics like ISRO, topics like pollution control, topics like alternate source of energy require a lot of deliberation and preparation. And there are more than maybe 200-300 topics. Which one you'll get, you don't know. And the topics keep getting added. I'm sure after the close down, this new SSB, they would have made some topic on COVID also and added it in the lectures. Individual obstacle is a sheer test of your physical agility, body agility and physical fitness. 10 obstacles to be done in 3 minutes. Needs practice. You got to be, I would say, you got to be thin and slim, because though there's nobody stopping of obese, overweight, but I found generally overweight boys and girls fall and either they sprain their knees. In fact, one of the boys even had a fracture. I saw him have a fracture in front of me. He could not control his weight. Right. So those of you who are aspiring, please go with your proper weight control. You should not be heavy. Even a light person can slip, but when a heavy person slips, he gets hurt badly. Command task and final group tasks are again based on structures and your method of solving it. Coming to the interview technique. Now, interview is one-to-one. Interview is one-to-one. It is about 45 minutes interaction with a senior officer and a cadet and a candidate. Now, in the interview technique, basically they are judging your various aspects like your academic performance, your participation in extracurricular activities, your participation in games and sports, what you have done in your spare time, what do you do nowadays in your spare time. They also ask you questions pertaining to your subjects of study in graduation or if you are going after 12th, in 11th, 12th, especially for NDA. They also at times ask you questions on your job, what you're doing. If you're doing a job, then what kind of job you're doing. Then they come to the family aspects, what your parents, brothers, sisters, what is your role in your home, what kind of activities do you do in your home. So they grill you on these aspects. They also will come on to what's your strength and weaknesses, what you're doing about your weaknesses. They'll also check out your motivation level to join the forces, some knowledge about the forces, what interest have you taken on your own to find out what armed forces are offering. You will be surprised. A girl was asked a question, what will be your rank on commissioning? And she said, I'll become a captain. Can you imagine a bigger ignorance than this? What does it show to the IO about this candidate? That this candidate has not taken any pains to know about what job she is going to do. A service candidate, a serving soldier wanted to become an officer, was asked, you wear a badge on your cap. What is the significance of that badge? Or what is made in that badge? What he did not know. Every day he wears a badge. An NCC cadet was asked, what is the motto of NCC? He did not know. C certificate alpha grading, he did not know what is the motto. He had never visited the NCC website. He did not know the organization of NCC. He did not know the name of the DG of NCC at that time. So they find out what is your level of motivation, how much have you got. So they talk to you about 45 minutes. They talk about general knowledge, current affairs, subject knowledge, your family affairs, what you do in your spare time, your hobbies, activities, etc., etc., etc. Right? So it's a quite a detailed interaction with it. And then we come to the psychological test. Now, psychological tests are 4 types. All of you are familiar with this because the moment somebody starts talking about SSB, oh, shuru ho jata hai, tat, wat, bas type kare Google tat, and he'll find 50 pictures and he'll start writing funny stories. I'll request all of you to visit my Instagram page called AMAS Training, AMASTRAINING. I put some pictures and you will be surprised to see the kind of stories the student asked. Last 2 days back, I posted a picture for practice and 30 people wrote a story, all funny stories. People don't know what to do, but now I can't be taking classes on Instagram. Those of you who are keen, they come to my nowadays, of course, online session. But I just think that so unprepared these boys and girls are. It gives me, sometimes it really shocks me. Then I think when I was in SSB and the psychologists used to tell us, and so sometimes, say kaisa dekho kaise isko pass kare, kya likhte hain? And we used to feel, yeah, the psychologists are so strict, but now I feel they are right because they are judging your personality. And the picture is a trigger, it's a stimulus. Now there are various judge your responses. You see a stimulus, TAT, picture is a stimulus, and your story is a response to that stimulus. And there's a method of judging it. What kind of response do you give to see after you see a particular picture? So then there's a WAT in which words are flashed on the screen and you get 15 seconds to write a sentence. There's 60 words. And then there's SRT, the 60 situations, and you get 30 minutes to answer situation in 2 lines each. That's maximum space they give you to answer in 2 lines. And self-description is talking about yourself in terms of what your parents think of you, what your friends think of you, what your teachers think of you, what do you think of yourself, and what would you like to improve. These are the various tests of SAT. So what after SSB, those of you get recommended, I'm sure all of you will sincerely work and get recommended. Then you have about 5 days of medical, and those are fit, they will have their merit and join the academies. And after successful completion, you become commissioned officers. So we are now reaching the end of our date, this thing today. This is one of my student who has recently been commissioned in Garhwal Rifles. So I'll just be some pictures of our academy where we're doing the PPTT discussion. He has become an officer, Lieutenant Anil now. He has become an officer, Harmandeep. He is in OTA Chennai, Shubham Srivastav. You can see their interviews on our AMAS training website. Now, just a word about somebody is asking about our batches. Our next batch is now planned for 13th July to 25th July, and after that, the next batch is planned for 27th July onwards. And the contact number you can note down. All of you, those who want to note down our contact number, you can note down our contact number. I'll put it in the chat box. You can note down that number and contact us to the manager. He's also joined us today. He's Mr. Arjun Sharma. 8077-126-352 is Mr. Arjun Sharma. We can, sorry, I have to put it to everyone. Just a minute. 8077-126-352 is Mr. Arjun Sharma. So all of you now able to see 8077-126-352. How many times you can try? 3 times in each category. Like if you're trying for NCC, 3 times you can try for NCC. So things like that. Again, all these are eligibility things. Please see it in the eligibility advertisement, right? All these eligibility related things, I would recommend all of you to see from the advertisements. Right. Now let's answer some more questions. Is knock-knee considered? Knock-knee is not considered, but then there is a quantum of knock. Sometimes the quantum of knock, friends, is less. And though you may feel that you have knock knees, but actually you may not have knock knees. So don't get worried and worked up that we have knock knees. You may not have actually knock knees. Right. Let me see if any other questions are there. Yes, just a minute. Poor eyesight. Now, this is generally known that 2.5 minus is acceptable. Beyond that is not. Somebody wants me to narrate a story about the picture we had shown. Okay, I will try and narrate it. The difference between NCC, special entry, rate is low. No, see, that's not NCC special entry selection rate is low. A very good question asked by Vishakha Indian to everyone. Now, I will tell you the answer is very simple. What my experience is, at least now 8-10 of the battalion commanders of NCC battalions are my very good friends. They say that students are not keen to prepare well. And of course, that is the reason of their less selection. You take interest, you will get selected. Because last year, 3 of my students NCC entry got selected. They took a lot of interest. Whatever I told them, they got after preparing. So one thing they knew, they told me one thing, sir, CDS clear नहीं हो रहा हमारे से. तो मैंने कहा अगर CDS clear नहीं हो रहा है, तो यहाँ जान लगाओ ना फिर SSB में. आपको डायरेक्ट CDS UPSC को आपने C सर्टिफिकेट किया है, वो आपको सिर्फ SSB तक ले जा सकता है. C सर्टिफिकेट SSB पास नहीं करा सकता. ये सबसे बड़ी गलती NCC कैडेट्स ये समझते हैं कि NCC C सर्टिफिकेट A ग्रेडिंग अब हम SSB क्लियर कर जाएंगे. NCC C सर्टिफिकेट A ग्रेडिंग आपको SSB के डोर तक ले जा रहा है. आपको बिना रिटर्न के ले जा रहा है. Otherwise UPSC में about 2 lakh students appear in CDS and only 10,000 are called for SSB out of the CDS. NCCC certificate is taking you to the doorstep of SSB, but it will not make you clear SSB. What have you done to clear SSB? That is the question. That is the reason students who are not putting in efforts, they end up either getting screened out or getting conference out. Right. So can I know the OLQ? See, when I came out of my SSB, I decided not to talk about OLQs. I can narrate these 15 OLQs just like that. Right. But when I also went for my SSB, we never thought of OLQs. We thought to become a good and a well-read person and let the SSB think about us, whatever they think. I told you the 4 things. Be an intelligent person, well aware about everything, be a friendly guy. They are OLQs which talk of which judge your friendliness and responsibility, how much seeker you are. Then I told you, be confident and able to take decisions. They are OLQs. And then I said, physical and mental courage and be determined. So these are all translate into OLQs. That is exactly there. These are the 4 factors in which OLQs are put. So our time, we never thought of OLQs. Even after I got selected, I finished my training, I never knew what are these OLQs they are judging. It is the only time when I became a GTO, when I was put through 6 months of GTO training, and we were told to read about these OLQs. एक OLQ का definition 2 पेज का है, and उनको judge कैसे करना और detail में है, तो candidate don't need to bother. That's where most of the training academies, they start off with teaching about how can you know OLQs. If I tell you the first OLQ is called effective intelligence, you will not understand उसके अंदर कैसे जज होता है, क्या क्या देख रहा है assessor. जैसे मैंने आपको बता दिया, general awareness and current affairs is being judged in factor 1. So get after it. I said communication skill is also being judged, is an OLQ called power of expression. So how to develop it? You have to develop it. But people will not develop it. They'll say हम जैसे हैं वैसे जाएंगे. Like some asking, sir, हम वहाँ पे हिंदी बोल रहे हैं जाके. Of course, nobody is stopping you from speaking Hindi. Yes, your written power is also seen. If you see, the expression also includes written power. In GTO, you will write the GP solution on a sheet of paper. In psych test, the whole psych test is by writing, not speaking. So your written will also be exposed if you're weak in written. Yeah, somebody is asking, does NCC certificate give you a chance for a job? Yes, some private companies are taking security officers with NCC certificate. It does help, surely. You must work hard to get NCC certificate. So can we, how many times apply for SSB entry? How check knock knees? Knock knees and all, I'll request you to go to a surgical specialist. He will check. And if you by chance know any army surgical specialist or any retired army guy, he'll be able to tell you the quantum of knock knees, if it's acceptable or not acceptable. Prakash sir, I'm not able to read as it is.
Yeah, sir. Actually, there are many questions, so it is very difficult to.
I think we'll have one separate
Yeah,
session
sir.
only for questions.
It will be better, sir. We can share your the mail ID. So if they
Yes.
have any queries, they can send the queries to their
Yeah,
mail
I
ID.
think best is to, they can do me on the, either they can do me on the, this thing, Instagram, they can send their
Yeah.
questions, or you
Yes.
can share my mail ID. I'll
Yeah.
write down the, Arjun, can you
Yeah.
please type the mail ID?
Uh,
Arjun can type the mail ID.
yeah, Arjun sir can write.
And he can, in fact, I don't mind even my personal number I can share, or they can WhatsApp me their questions. That also is one thing we can do. I'll share my WhatsApp number to everyone, so they can WhatsApp me their questions. So, I mean, the aim is to help you guys. Is my WhatsApp number. So just write your name, the battalion, and your question if you want. So I will probably answer you in 24 hours. Don't expect immediate answer, because almost 1,000, more than 1,000 students are in touch at any time. So it takes time to, kind of read every question. And Instagram.
Arjun sir can share the mail ID also.
Arjun, please share the mail ID also. I will request all of them to follow the Instagram, because that will help them prepare well, because I keep posting a lot of useful stuff. Instagram page AMAS Training, and YouTube we have this channel. I think this being live telecasted also on YouTube.
Yes.
That's it, sir. Should we carry on some more time? Should I take some more questions, or we
Yes,
can
yes,
carry on?
yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
can take some more questions. Okay. Does handwriting matter a lot in SSB? Okay, I'll answer this. Handwriting should be legible. Handwriting should be legible. पढ़ने लायक होना चाहिए. आपका handwriting अगर मैं पढ़ सकूं तो वो ठीक है. Otherwise, a second point regarding handwriting, it should be neatly written. Right? Not be smudgy, not too many cuttings. एक गंदा सा पेन लेके उससे आप इंक फैल रहा है या स्मजिंग हो रहा है, that creates a very negative impression in terms of anybody who looks at your answer sheet. See, all of you in your college and schools, teacher tell you write a neat answer. Similarly, when you go for SSB, take a good pen, preferably a gel pen, right, or an ink pen. Don't use a ball pen. That smudges your handwriting. For girls, the GR and IoT be the same as men. For Air Force, it is the same, girls. For Army, out of the 10 individual obstacles, they give 2 obstacles which are optional. That is obstacle number 8 and number 10. Again, you can have a look at which are these number of obstacles on my AMAS training video channel. There I have showed a video of all the obstacles. 8 and 10 is optional. GOR, it is the same. Only in the vertical wall, there's one obstacle called vertical wall, which is 9 feet wall. There's a drum of 1.5 feet, which is kept for girls' batches. They can stand on that drum. So that's to give them that much leverage in the height. Can we get, it is mandatory to source 50% graduation? I think as 50% is there mandatory. Please check the eligibility. I think 50% is there, and for Air Force, I think it is 60% in graduation. NCOs, then after 12 years of 10 years of service, NCOs of armed forces can appear in SSB. So, sir, they want me to show that picture which I showed. They want me to narrate the story on that picture. I think I'll do that. Time and again, he's asking. Can girls achieve are the same as men? Yes. Point in GD screening. What's a point in GD screening? How give a point in GD screening? Rohit Malushri. Flat foot, little flat foot. Again, all these things doctors need to decide. Okay, I'll just show you that photograph of that, which one you're wanting to see, and that story one boy has written on it. Since all of you are so keen. Yeah, there's the picture. We saw this picture, right? So there's a picture you find, there's an elephant and there are 4 guys sitting on it, 5 guys. So one of the stories which a student wrote is this. Like now he has identified these 4 characters, right? Their age, gender, and mood. Action he has written is inspection of the forest. He says Aryan, a 29-year-old, is a young forest officer in Jim Corbett National Park. In summers, he decided to do inspection of the forest. In order to check the problems, he made a team, and they on Saturday they all went on elephant, and they found that there lack of water in the tanks for animals. Then he asked his team to do some water, get some water tanks, water trucks, and fill the tanks which are there. And also he made some forest guards available there and decided to go on inspection regularly. And after some time, all is going well in the forest, and he got appreciation for his hard work. So this kind of story he's made, this boy, a very good story on this picture. I hope that satisfies all of you. There any maximum weight for a person? That is the weight and height is checked in the medical. But I was only trying to tell you is when you're going for SSB, that's the time what you should do is you should not be heavyweight. I didn't say overweight because you can't start weighing your weight. But if you are kind of obese, then you'll find difficult in doing the GT obstacles. It'll be you're old, you'll feel yourself difficult. Eye operation, I think they say that you can apply after 6 months. You've done an eye operation, then they give a 6 months time. After that, you become eligible. High vocabulary skill is important for communication. It's not high vocabulary. You should be able to talk in a normal way, the way we talk with each other. You should be able to convey your ideas. That's it. No high vocabulary. It's not. You're not going to crack TOEFL or GRE type of English vocabulary. No. Simple. You should be able to speak reasonably fine. How to brush up your communication skills? In fact, you will not believe this. A lot of students ask me, and I've just started the online batch of spoken English. While in fact, the moment we started this, there's a call who came who wants to join that. So in case you're keen to improve your communication skills, we have a short-term batch for improving your communication skills. And that also is possible. You can speak to Arjun. He's shared his number with you. You can speak to him only if you're serious. I mean, don't just keep calling, and otherwise you can do communication skill training from anywhere nearby, also your house. If there's some English speaking and all such academies are there every town. But if you want to join us, then let us know. It will be on same platform as Zoom and 1 hour every day. How much academic score matters? My childhood qualify pursuing BSc, share any army doctors? No, I will not like to share any numbers like that. You can do some Google search or go to some hospital. In most of the hospitals, you'll find retired army doctors are working in good hospitals. Tejas is asking, how can I, sports person? See, I do not know if you wanted to get enlisted as a Jawan. There's a different procedure. I'm not master of it, so I will not comment on how to get into Bharti with a sports quota. There is a sports quota. You can get special quota, but I am not aware of those things. I am only professional in guiding about SSB. Yes, so engineering degree, you will be, if you want to avail, if you are engineering degree holder, you can go for SSC Tech, you can go for TGC entry. That's also open to you, and and also NCC entry. So screening process, beta, I have already told you adequately the screening process. I should not repeat it. FCAT, the written exam, I'm not talking, this seminar is not about the written, it was about SSB. FCAT written is not very tough. You need to just prepare yourself well, and it's got a question combinations of verbal, non-verbal, general awareness, current affair questions. So you are able to crack it if you prepare well. Diploma plus NCC, diploma and degree चाहिए. Yes, Rajshri has asked some questions. I'm in the third year rest. I showed a slide in which said 6 to 9 months before. This is the right time, if you are serious about SSB, to start off. Start working on your current affairs, GK build up. Start working on your communication skills. Start working on your hobbies. Right? They do ask what are your hobbies. So start working on these aspects, and you will do well in SSB. How to crack UPSC exam? Prepare for it. There is a syllabus on the UPSC website. There's a 10th level ka maths, good English, and good general knowledge. These three aspects are being checked. For OTA Chennai, no maths, only English and general studies. So guides are available, plenty, and you can take a guide and start preparing. I prepared for CDS from just a guide 30 years back. But now we do conduct a written guidance revision capsule just about 3 weeks before the exam. Current affairs, newspaper. See, I'll tell you a very simple way. This website is there, our website, amastraining.com. Every day we refer to 5 newspapers: Hindu, Times of India, Indian Express, the Hitavada, and we pick up the 5 or 6 important news and we upload it on our website. And I send the link to my WhatsApp group, my students who have joined them on WhatsApp. If you want to be part of that group, you can also send a number to Arjun. He'll add you in one of the groups. So we send the link of that news, important news, which includes national, international, military news, to all the students. They have to click and read those 5 news. Otherwise, तुम बहुत time waste करोगे newspaper पढ़ने में. We will choose the best news for SSB and we'll upload. Just read it. At least read it. I'm very happy that you asked this question. I'm so happy. People don't read the newspapers nowadays. My students, I literally plead them, please पढ़ो, क्योंकि आइयो वहाँ पूछेगा आपको न्यूज़ इंटरव्यू में, करंट अफेयर्स पूछेंगे, पढ़ते ही नहीं है. So अगर आपको शॉर्टकट तो हम दे रहे हैं, shortcut mein, you can just go and visit the AMAS training website, amastraining.com, amastraining.com. उस पे news button है, click on the news, you will find every day by 9 o'clock the top 5 news from 5 newspapers uploaded. Just read it. If someone can't afford coaching classes, how can they prepare for GTO? So then you go with your own natural self. You go there and learn by seeing that Gto task. That's all. It's not that they are SSB saying कि coaching लेके आओ. They are saying कोई coaching की जरूरत नहीं है. You can go without it also. Our times we all went like that. But हमारे time में और आज में फर्क ये है कि in our times when we went, 90% of the people who came were uncoached. So initially everybody was lost, and then slowly everybody understood. What the scenario is very different today. Today, when you reach there, 90% student will be coached and 10% will be lost. And they'll remain lost till the end because these coached guys will not let them work only. They not let them work. This is what I have seen. So, decision is yours. How to join the WhatsApp group. So you send a message, your name to Arjun Sharma. Send in from a WhatsApp number to Arjun 8077 126 352 and he'll add you in the group, WhatsApp group. And friends, we are starting our online batch, which is not costly. If people are thinking SSB training is very costly, it is not costly at all. We are starting a 2-week batch, and the only cost, which you don't even have to come from a home, sitting at home, will be guiding you 6 hours a day, and the cost is only 9,000 rupees. Who says SSB coaching is costly? I think it is the cheapest. You go and see the IIT coachings or MBA coaching, they ask you in lakhs of rupees, right? Okay, so it is not tattoos. Yeah, very good question on tattoos. Not permitted. They'll send you back from the gate. So please get your tattoos removed. One of my friends, his son was serving colonel. His son was reporting to Allahabad, and he had a tattoo. Usko gate ke andar nahi ghusne diya. And the officer told me, he says, MP, I spent 3,000 rupees for the tattoo, and now it is costing me 30,000 rupees to remove the tattoo. Yeah, SSB coaching classes will make you familiar, no? At least you'll know what to work on. See, why do you take coaching classes in a negative manner? Don't mug up. You learn what the system is, how it is going to be tested. Okay? Do people feel seriously tech entry? Sir, do people clearing? What is the NDA preparing? NDA paper is 3 types of papers. One is a maths paper separately, 300 marks. One is a English and general studies separate, 300 marks. 300 marks for English, 300 marks for general study, 300 marks for maths. If your left hand was broken and now it is absolutely fine, that's okay. Then I don't think it's got any problem. How to be elegant speaker in a SSB interview? Obviously, with a lot of confidence and good communication skills. When you're confident, you'll speak well. My uncle taught me. What's his name? Shaurya Yadav. What's the name of your uncle? What's the name of your uncle? I generally know all the GTOs around. I was also GTO at Allahabad. So did you make it? Shaurya Yadav. RK Yadav. So Shaurya Yadav, have you passed? How much 10th and 12th marks matter? Is Vishwesh Matre asking. See, its answer is yes and no both. If you say, do they matter? The answer is yes and no both. Because if you get good marks, what does it indicate if you have 90% marks? Obviously, it will indicate to the interviewing officer, yeah, this guy is intelligent. But at the same time, you may have 90% and if you're not able to answer his questions, then he'll say, yeah, ऐसी number ले आया होगा. Right? So it is both sides. Current Affairs website, it is our website on which we are uploading every day. Okay, just type it there. You got screened out. So that's very sad. Shaurya Yadav. I'll just answer that, Shaurya Yadav. What happens? See, one chap calls me up and he says, "Sir, SSB की ट्रेनिंग आप थोड़ा टेलीफोन पे मेरे को बता देंगे?" तो मैंने कहा, "SSB टेलीफोन पे होता है क्या?" बोला, "नहीं सर, तो वो तो ग्राउंड पे होता है." तो फिर मैंने कहा, "टेलीफोन पे कैसे बता देंगे?" See, Shaurya, what happens is, though your uncle, you typed it here, he's a ex-GTO. Certainly, he would have given you the correct tips. But when you are doing something in a group, in a coaching, right, that's a different aspect. Now, SSB is not only GTO, no? Now, here in AMAS, we have an interviewing officer separate. A psychologist will come separate, he'll take a separate class. He's a master of his own trade. The interviewing officer is master of his own technique. So, it's not me only who will take classes. 6 hours, I can't be speaking for 6 hours every day. We have a team of 5 assessors, ex-SSB. So each one, when he guides you, you get to understand the system well, right? So that is a disadvantage of just going to one person. And though he's your uncle or a friend or whoever, he may be wanting to think good about you, but that is a handicap which you get. Then you learn only one aspect, right? WhatsApp link. I've shared my WhatsApp number, Bhageshri. I've shared everything with now all of you. I've shared even my own WhatsApp number, and just look at your window. I think this is my WhatsApp number. Obviously, if you failed in class 11th, what impression? Or छुपा सकते नहीं आप. So what impression will you create? That you are not good in academics. That's the impression you'll get. Now he'll ask you questions. Why did you fail? What happened? Then he'll check how you are today. He'll check your knowledge. Did you improve after that, or you continued that low academic performance only? So this is what they go through. This is the way they judge. General knowledge, I can't recommend a particular book. General knowledge, you can pick up any book, full of books, general knowledge. Right, sir. I think even participants are leaving now, and I feel Prakash
Yes,
sir,
sir.
we
Yes, sir.
now wind up,
Yes.
and because otherwise I'll
Amukta and Sriya, can you take it?
yeah. So I'll just like to finish my this webinar with 2-3 main points. Firstly, I would like you to prepare in a structured manner, all of you. Focus, make SSB as your target, not your goal, just a short-term target. Work towards that. Goal should be to become a good officer. SSB is one step in that goal, right? Goals are slightly long-term. SSB should be a small target which you should cross quickly, and for that start preparing. I have given you some points at this stage when an SSB is about 4 to 5 months away, what all you should start preparing. Have confidence in yourself. Don't take things for granted and don't try to justify if I am weak in this, they should accept me like that. Work on your weaknesses and you will overcome them. And of course, we are there. We have shared our website, we have shared our Instagram, this thing, YouTube. For questions and doubts, you can type and send your questions. We will surely try to answer you. And I would also like to take this opportunity to thank the CO of 8 Battalion. I don't know him, sir. I don't know you, but still, you have taken the pains of organizing such a huge webinar. I've taken very many webinars, but I have never seen such a huge attendance in the webinars. That just shows how you've gone about organizing this. And special thanks to Prakash Chandra sir. I think it's been your effort, sir, who has been able to connect all India cadets for this webinar. And I'm sure the students must have gained a lot. And in
Thank you, sir.
case
Thank you.
you need our services more, we are most welcome.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. Definitely.
Thank you very
Yes.
much, and Jai Hind, sir.
Jai sir. Amukta?
Thank you, sir, for giving us the words of wisdom on how to prepare for SSB selection. It was indeed a great session, sir. I would now request Cadet Shreya to please give a word of thanks to the chief guest.
I, Cadet Shreya, on behalf of St. Claret College, Bangalore, and the entire fraternity of the institution, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to the Almighty God for making today's event a resounding success. With his blessings and grace, we were able to make this event what it was. Out of thanks to our chief guest from his busiest schedule to praise the occasion. Today, we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Your thoughts have enlightened our minds and have shown us a new path. My gratitude to the speaker for gracing the occasion and sharing his opinions today. Last but not the least, a big thank you to each one of you who made this session memorable for all of us. On behalf of my college, let me thank all the cadets present for the session. We value every moment that you stay in this temple of learning. Thank you.
Prakash sir, I would also like to thank, I missed out, gratitude or thanks to the Clarinet College for organizing
Yes.
this event, and to
Thank
the
you.
principal and you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Cadets, the link has been shared in the feedback in the chat box. Please give in your valuable feedback and receive the e-certificate as soon as possible. Thank you.